What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Brooklyn Boys Show alongside Connor Long. I'm your host, Josh Woolever. Today, we will be diving into three free agents that we believe the Nets need to bring back this offseason. Connor, how you doing this Sunday?
Josh, doing well. First live stream on the channel yesterday, myself, joined by the great Lucas Kaplan of Nets Daily. Went very, very well, thanks to you guys. So appreciate you all out there. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. Here every single day talking Brooklyn Nets basketball. And whatever you guys want to see, throw that in the comments, and we will try to make that happen here on the program. So appreciate you all. And Josh, super happy to be here with you.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear some community input. As Connor said, make sure you drop down below. Sub, like really helps the growth of this channel. Helps us reach other net fans so we can truly build a Brooklyn Boys community. Three free agents that I think the Nets will go after, and I think the Nets want to go after. I'll list off my three here rapid fire, then have you list off your three,
And then we'll go
and
back
then
and forth.
we can get into some heated debate. My first one, and we're also not including Cam Thomas, by the way, because that one seems pretty optional. My first is Keon Johnson. My second is Tyrese Martin. And finally, I've got a bit of a risky one, Jalen Wilson. Connor, who are your three?
All right, my three. It was kind of tough for me to put these into any specific order, but because they're all pretty much equal players. At three, I will give that to Trendon Watford, and number two, I will give it to Zaire Williams, and number one, give me Daron Sharp.
All right, for my three, I said the guys that I said because honestly, this Nets team wasn't a good shooting team last year. Just looking at it from these two guys' perspectives, Tyrese Martin, and Jalen Wilson, those guys can provide as threats from deep. Look, they
Not
haven't
Jalen Wilson.
officially been established as three-point shooters, but he's shown sparks of it. Why do you think he won Summer League MVP?
Why did Kevin Knox win Summer League MVP?
Well, that's exactly. I mean, he has. I think Jalen Wilson can shoot from three. He hasn't shown it in the NBA yet. He has a lot to prove. But I think if this is a guy you can bring back, or I think it would be picking up his
He
team
shot
option.
under
Let me double
35% from
check that.
downtown last year.
35%?
He shot like 33.5, yeah.
And you're saying that's terrible?
Under 35% from three-point range, and you're talking about his three-point shooting ability, I would be concerned.
35% from three? Let me look up what he actually shot.
He was 33.7% from behind the arc last year.
Okay, that's not great, but if you give him a little bit of time to develop, I think you have to give him a lane. I think picking up his team option on a very cheap deal, how does it hurt this Nets team to bring him back? It's not like this isn't going to be a dogfight for a roster position.
I understand that. I just think there's so many better options out on this list than. Retaining Jalen Wilson is so far away from he's Kessler Edwards.
Right.
Kessler Edwards was great for 20 games.
I don't think that he's Kessler Edwards because he hasn't gotten the fair shot yet. All right, how about Tyrese Martin? He can't shoot from three?
Who?
Tyrese Martin can't shoot from three?
Tyrese Martin's automatic. I love Tyrese Martin.
Okay, great. He's my number two. That'll give a boost to this three-point shooting team. And then number one, Keon Johnson, big-time veteran presence. We know you think he's unrosterable, Connor.
It's awful.
But, he's all around good karma for this
team. He's two left feet.
He brings something to this team that outside of Cam Johnson we don't have.
Trendon Watford brings that leadership. That's why he's on my list.
Trendon Watford over Keon Johnson showed more leadership?
Oh, are you kidding me? Well, Trendon Watford is 10 times the basketball player that Keon Johnson is. Trendon Watford, again, was injured a lot of last year, so we didn't get to see him that much. But when Trendon Watford was on the court, he averaged 10 points a game last year as a eighth man. He can develop into
certain. Keon didn't?
Well, what did Keon average? Keon averaged the same. Thing is, Keon played in 79 games, and Keon was averaging 25 minutes a night. Watford played in 40 games and averaged 20 minutes a night. So
okay, right. So Keon Johnson was more consistent.
Keon Johnson stayed healthy longer. I don't know if more consistent is the proper term.
Stayed healthy and consistent
to use there. My thing with Trendon Watford is he brings leadership. Here's the thing: he brings leadership. He's only 24 years old, though. He acts like a veteran in the locker room. That's something I find really interesting. He's still young and ascending as a basketball player. I think the Nets have to do everything they can to retain Watt and for him to be a depth piece. And he's shown he could do that down the stretch for this Brooklyn basketball team. So I'm looking for the Nets to retain Trendon Watford. Then at number 2, I have Zaire Williams. This is someone who was a lottery pick just a few years ago. Certainly has the tools to do great things at the NFL at the NBA level. Excuse me there. The biggest problem with Zaire, every facet of his game, offense, dribbling, defensively from behind the arc, consistency. That is the biggest issue with Zaire Williams. He's able to kind of even out his three-point shooting percentage. He's able to be more consistent on defense, consistently able to, get you 5-6 rebounds a night, give you a plus rating. He's certainly a role player on any NBA team.
Absolutely.
So I'd really, really like to roll the dice on 23-year-old Zaire Williams.
Yep.
Give him another deal because he certainly showed he deserved it last year. Played scrappy. When called upon, he was able to shoot from three-point range. Not consistently, but in big moments, he was knocked down from beyond the arc. So I'm looking at Zaire Williams at number 2. And then my number 1 is pretty self-explanatory, Day'Ron Sharpe. This is a guy who's shown flashes at time. I think Day'Ron Sharpe is a starting caliber NBA center. If he's on a team. On a bad team, he's a starting center. On a good team, he's not.
I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have exactly, the ingredients to be like that strong bully ball center. And
he's almost 7 foot. He's 6'11". He's going to get you multiple blocks a night. That's what he's shown.
And the rebounds.
He's going to get you the rebounds. His three-point
shot.
He
cannot shoot.
That's up for debate. The metrics don't show that.
I mean, from the 3 are we talking?
What?
He took way too many threes than was bargained for. If he made a couple, sure, but he should not have been shooting.
He can develop. Claxton can't develop into a shooter.
Claxton Claxton, no.
Like at least Day'Ron shooting 75.7% from the line last year.
Okay, yeah, that's respectable for a center. I mean, Clax has so much he needs to work on from shooting. Like, if it's not within 5 foot and it's not like off the backboard, for Clax, it's a really risky.
The non-shooting center
is the
non-shooting center is getting phased out of the NFL and out of the NBA now.
What was that?
The centers who can't shoot are typically not good centers at the NBA.
Correct. That's how the game is evolving. I completely agree. But
even Nick Claxton, I don't even trust him on those like one-hand tap-ins from the charity stripe when he's like, pump fakes, dribbles up to the free throw line, and it has to be a put for me. Excuse me, for me to believe it's a surefire bucket from Nick Claxton, it has to either be on a putback or he has to be down low in the paint with a mismatch against the small forward.
Connor, I don't even think he was trying. I think through the first 40 games last season, he had he was shooting the best percentage from the field because he literally only shot within a 3-foot bubble of the rim.
Yeah.
I'll give you that Day'Ron Sharpe is the best shooting center on this team, but the bar is not very high, right? So I get bringing back Day'Ron.
He can develop into a shooter, though.
I don't think it's feasible. Maybe he can develop, but that development can't be taken away from guys like Tyrese from deep.
They play two different positions.
And especially if the Nets are running a small lineup, especially if Sharpe is the only center on the
court. I don't think the Nets are going to run I don't think the Nets are going to run a tight lineup at all.
Well, I think the Nets
last year. Completely disagree. The Nets tried everything last year. The Nets went through every single player.
There was a lot of Day'Ron as the only big man on the court last year, and he was still putting up threes.
There's 3 centers on this Nets. There's a chance one of the 3 centers could be. There's a chance Nick Claxton's dealt. There's a chance Day'Ron Sharpe's dealt. There's a chance Noah Clowney's dealt.
Clowney can develop from 3. He was just so inconsistent. He was 1 for 8.
Clowney, I think his best chance of having a role on the Nets team this year is having a great preseason, potentially playing in the summer league and being the starting power forward.
I think he will. I agree because
that's his only opportunity because he's not going to be a starting center. Quite frankly, I don't think he's going to be a backup center. He has to be a starting power forward.
Especially not if they go get a center at 8. Especially not then.
If they get a center at 8, it means Day'Ron is either walking in free agency or they do a sign and trade with him or Claxton's being done. They don't draft a center and have 4 centers on it.
Yes, I completely agree. And honestly, if you had to choose between Clowney and Sharpe, honestly, I think Clowney has more potential as a basketball player, but not as a center because he does not fit the role.
Clowney's a power forward.
Yes. I agree. The Nets just forced him to play center because they
The thing is,
needed
the
depth.
Nets have no height on the court. It's been this case for 4 years now. Like,
That's what I just said. They didn't have any consistent big man play last year.
not at all. Not at all. Yeah,
Not at all.
Clowney was bad last year. I didn't know it was that bad from 3-point
Oh
range.
my goodness. He had like one good game shooting from 3. Other than that, he was irresponsible taking bad
He
shots.
was good in the minimal time we saw him during 2 seasons ago. He was reliable from 3-point range. He was over like 35%.
But Connor, do you mind if we shift off this center topic for a second and go back to Zaire Williams? Because I think he is the most intriguing guy outside of Cam Thomas on this free agent list. Zaire Williams, I think he has the tools he needs to succeed in this
We
league.
spoke about Zaire.
I didn't. You did. I didn't.
You
I
got it.
think that he has the tools to succeed in this league. I agree that he hasn't developed yet, but I think if there's any player on this team outside of Cam Johnson or Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson, I guess, call me crazy, Zaire Williams I could see him developing into an all-star caliber guy.
He was a lottery pick for a reason.
I agree. He was. The wingspan's there. He's a really good defender. You're right. He hustles for Jordy Fernandez. He has what it takes to be part of this new Brooklyn culture. I really like Zaire Williams. I really want him to return. I think that's a really good pick on your list.
Can I interest you in some Tosan Iwoma?
Oh my God, you cannot. No, you may not. Tosan Iwoma was my least favorite net to watch on the court last
Tosan
year.
Iwoma could be the starting small forward this year.
Oh my God,
Zaire
that'd be a
Williams
big
doesn't
time
pan out.
problem.
That's the
If
correlation I was
if
going
you
for.
have
All you fans out there.
If you have 5 first-round picks and 1 early second, and Tosan Iwoma finds his way getting valuable minutes on this court at all,
I
there's a
would trade
problem.
Tosan and a first-round pick for a bag of chips.
I would just cut Tosan. Who do you think wants to trade for Tosan?
I'm joking. No, Tosan's not an NBA player.
No, he's not. Is he even a Long Island player? That's honestly a debate we could have.
I remember, shout out to Gary, host of Nothing But Nets. He'll be coming on the show. Great content creator. Shoot him a sub. I remember I was at Nets Heat in February or January. It was.
I think I was also at that game, yeah.
Oh, guess we didn't meet up that day. But I remember watching warm-ups, and I've been talking crap about Tosan for weeks leading up to that because Tosan's not a G League caliber player. He's worse than Keon Johnson, which I didn't know was even possible. And I was watching him warm up and shoot around before the game, and I counted he missed 6 3-pointers in a row.
He's awful.
6 3-pointers in a row. And what's his 3-point percentage?
How fast can that guy get off this roster? That's my
His
question.
3-point percentage was just as good as Keon Johnson's.
What did he shoot?
31.2.
It sure did not feel like that. I mean, 31% is not good at all from 3, but
I mean, he's averaging 2%, two shots.
Tosan Iwoma, uncoordinated guy. Like
Tosan was averaging almost 25 minutes.
How tall is he? What is he listed at, Connor?
He is listed at 6'8".
6'8". Did you ever see Tosan Iwoma try and back in a smaller guy? Like, did you ever see him try to use his physical attributes? All I saw him do was shoot the basketball like he thought he was a point guard, like he thought he was a shooting guard. Tosan Iwoma. I mean, talk about the last guy I want a roster spot on this team. If we're talking about 3 guys to retain, 3 guys I don't want to retain, 3 guys
He's under
I want off this
contract.
team immediately,
He's
cut
under
him. Cut him.
They're
You
not-
have 5 first-round picks coming in the building, and Tosan Iwoma finds his way onto this team. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Do you think they make 5 first-round selections? That could be.
Honestly, I don't. I mean, we talked about this in our trade-up video. I think it's extremely feasible Sean Marks goes after a high-quality prospect just because I don't think he thinks that 5 first-round picks are going to come in here and get minutes on this team. But, like, honestly, I think trading back into the top 10 from, like, 19 and 20-something, if you package those 2 and Cam Johnson, you could easily get back into the top 10. That's a point where I see them going after Trey Johnson and then doubling right back up, trading back into
Trey
9 and
Johnson
10
won't
and
be there
getting
at 8.
and then getting Malawach.
Trey Johnson won't be there at 8. The only way I see them getting a guard in the center like that is Malawach and then Queen.
Kneppel? Queen as a guard? What?
Derek Queen would be more of like a 3 or 4 guy. My bad.
Right.
Not guard.
I think a good guard that could be there at 8 is Con Kneppel.
I like Kneppel.
You want to double up on the Duke guys?
That could be fun.
That could be fun. A lot
Um,
of potential for both of those guys. They're both freshmen last year, and they were both obviously outside of Cooper Flag, the two most productive guys on that Duke team that made a big time Final Four run.
yeah,
Ended up
ESPN had
losing in
the
heartbreaking fashion.
ESPN had the Nets
Yeah.
taking Kneppel and the
Yes. In their mock.
still, I'm holding out hope for Trey Johnson. That's my guy.
Mm.
You know that.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot
They
on
need
this
a
young
second
show.
shooter.
Absolutely, absolutely, they do. But let's not count out Con Knippel as that. I think Trey Johnson's more of a spot up guy. Con Knippel's more of an overall basketball guy. But my goodness, Trey Johnson being there, and then you still having Cam Thomas, assuming you get him back. I mean, that'd be awesome.
I'm just picturing. I'm just picturing like Let me. I'm just picturing like a Cam Thomas drive, and then I just
Kick it to the
go
corner.
hard kick right to the corner to Trey Johnson, who catch
Nothing
and
but
shoot
nylon.
automatic.
Little hesitation, get the defender to fly by. One dribble and
The
a
thing that
one
does annoy me
dribble and a
so much
jam.
about the modern day NBA is finishing through contact isn't even valued anymore. Like that used to be such a great part
Right,
of
because like
basketball.
guys like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander just foul bait the whole time and would rather shoot
And
two
same
free
with
throws than get
Brunson.
a tough bucket.
No, here's the thing. Like I'm okay. Like foul baiting, I hate. Like flopping. I mean, this isn't soccer, so like I don't
True.
understand why players are flopping. Why grown men are flopping. Again, this go to the MLS or go play soccer in England if you want to do that, but not in the NBA. The thing that annoys me more that stems from that is the fact that there's no finishing through contact. Like at least if you're gonna do that, try to finish the play. You see
Right.
with Brunson and Gilgis Alexander, it doesn't happen as much. Like he'll still trying to make a play, but Brunson, it was obvious.
He'll just throw the
And
ball into the third row.
just throw the ball into the third row. Like
Right. And the problem is the refs have come so accustomed to that. I mean, what are they I mean, I wonder what it's like to like train as an NBA referee. Do they get told to call like this week of contact? I mean, it's so hard to play defense these days.
so hard.
So hard. Yeah.
Like I don't even.
Impossible.
That's
I
why
mean,
the
I think whoa. Relating back, can that be something Keon Johnson adds to this team?
Keon Johnson. I'm surprised Keon Johnson didn't foul out of like 30 games last year.
Well, that was a good thing about the Nets. They were pretty disciplined. I can't lie. For how young of a team they were pretty disciplined. We watch undisciplined football, Connor. We know what that looks like. This Nets team didn't take a ton of bad fouls. I think that's a testament to how
Unless it's
well
Nick
coached they were.
Claxton. Nick Claxton got ejected like 4 times out of his first 8 games or
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
What a
Yeah,
joke.
right. But also, I mean, I feel like when Nick Claxton gets that nose mask off and he's back to being fully healthy, maybe he holding out hope that he's a different animal, a 2 year ago animal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just got to hope everything's great for this Nets team. They
I
get
mean,
the
that's a dream,
cornerstone.
Connor. We've been talking so much about how Nick Claxton can get shopped. Let's play out the scenario where he does play his best basketball, right? Like
He's a defensive player of the year.
he's a defensive player of the year. You add
And he shoots 30% from the field.
and let's say you add Malawach in this lineup and you go two bigs. Who's going to defend that? A 7'2" and a 6'11" guy.
Claxton isn't big though. That's the thing. Like Claxton projects as a power forward on most teams. Claxton.
But
What's
Claxton uses
Malawach?
his length so well.
What is Malawach listed at? 7'1"?
7'2".
7'2". So he'd be the only 7. He'd be the first 7-footer since Brooke Lopez, right?
Yeah.
Because Drummond was not 7 foot.
I mean, Drummond was immobile at that point in his career, so who?
Drummond's still such a great player. I don't care
Would
what
you be
anyone.
would you be open to trading for Drummond and eating that Paul George contract for multiple firsts?
1,000%. Someone who
I
could rebound.
And honestly, like for how bad Paul George contracted, Philadelphia wants to get out of that so
I
bad.
was
'Cause
when
they
I
still
traded
have
for
3
Andre
years.
Drummond. When I traded for Andre Drummond, I knew the name obviously because it was a big name, but I didn't know too much about him as a player. And then one game after watching him, like this is a great trade. They have someone who can get rebounds.
So are you hoping that's what Day'Ron Sharp is?
If Day'Ron Sharp can be Day'Ron Sharp praise of having the career that Andre Drummond's had.
Oh yeah, what is he, a 20-year vet?
20-year vet, 10-time All-Star.
Right. I think the difference is Andre Drummond isn't egotistical and thinks he'll develop as a shooter. That's my problem with it's my problem with Day'Ron Sharpe and frankly Noah Clowney. I mean, the two guys have potential. They just need to
Noah
take a
Clowney, I
step
think.
back and
I
realize
don't
where
think
they're
Noah
at.
Clowney can like Noah Clowney. I think he hopes to be like Tristan Thompson.
I mean, I'm sure he has more aspirations than that for
No,
himself.
well,
What can he
obviously,
realistically be? I
I
mean,
like if he can be Tristan Thompson, I think that's great.
I'll just say on any other team,
If he
Noah
can be in the league
Clowney
for
is
13
not
years, if
playing
he can be in the league for 13 years, win 2 Six-Man of the Year awards, like
on any other NBA team. Noah Clowney is not listed as a center, and he's not getting put out there by himself in that kind of lineup. Like you can't put out five and say Noah Clowney's your big and rock with it, and expect not to just get bullied in the paint.
yeah, absolutely.
That's just what's going to happen.
The Nets certainly have to beef up the center room this year and add some height, whether that's Malawach. I've said Miles Turner in free agency for so long. Miles Turner in free agency for so long now if he's not ultimately re-signed. But we'll all see what this Brooklyn team does, and we all hope that they bring us some joy this year, whether it's tanking and landing the number 1 overall pick, which the lottery's rigged, so that'll never happen, or winning an NBA championship for the first time in this organization's
That
history.
also won't happen.
You're pretty much right. That's what we're all hoping for. We appreciate you tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Throw your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat in the comment section down below. Appreciate you all. We'll be back tomorrow here on the channel. He's Josh Woolever. I'm your host, Connor Long, signing off. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everyone, and as always, go Nets.